Good morning, boys and girls. I know things are different lately with us having virtual schooling, so I thought that I could try to make things a little more like school by reading out loud from the Land of Stories. So I thought I'd read chapter 11, The Cave, where we left off, for you guys to have a chance to finish the book series. So here we go. The twins and their friends left for the cave minutes after forming their plan. Alex didn't trust her powers enough to teleport everyone by magic, so they just traveled by horse instead. They galloped northwest at full speed, knowing time was of the essence. Jack and Goldilocks rode Porridge while the twins steered Oats, who was more than excited for his debut journey. Oates' father, a large stallion named Buckle, had been brought out of the Center Kingdom stables for Hagatha to ride. 1 minute abroad, the infamously rambunctious horse was all it took for Hagatha to cast a calming spell on him. Mother Goose and Red traveled aboard Lester and flew in circles above the others, so they kept the same pace. Mother Goose was self-appointed to navigate and occasionally shouted directions at the others. She also used the trip as an opportunity to play therapist and tried making Red feel better with stories of her own heartbreak. "I've been left and left others at the altar many times myself," Mother Goose told her. "The day I was supposed to wed King Henry VIII was the day he met Anne Boleyn. Needless to say, I went home alone, and boy, did I dodge a bullet." "Was this recent?" Red asked her. The mountains in the northwest weren't very far away from the Center Kingdom, and they were expected to reach the cave by midnight. Traveling at the horse's pace really made Alex miss her days with Cornelius, but she was happy she had found a companion in Rook. To pass the time, Connor told Alex everything he had learned about the portal potion from their grandmother's book. The potion's ingredients were pretty simple, Connor said. You just need a branch from the oldest tree in the woods, a feather from the finest pheasant, and a liquefied lock and key from someone you love. Then you let it simmer under 2 weeks of moonlight, add a splash of magic to mix it up, and presto, potion galore. "That's all it takes?" Alex asked. "You'd think the ingredients would be more complex for such a powerful substance." "This is kindergarten stuff compared to the wishing spell. The ingredients are more symbolic than specific," Connor said. "Grandma had to be really imaginative when she was creating it." "That's the beauty of magic. There's really no science to it," Alex said. After the sun set, Mother Goose enchanted a swarm of fireflies to illuminate the land as they traveled across it. As predicted, they arrived at the cave just before midnight. Alex was grateful Rook's map had been so detailed. The cave blended into the mountainside so well they would have never found it on their own. Lester landed as the others dismounted their horses. "Porridge," Goldilocks said, "if anyone or anything but us comes out of the cave, I want you, Oats, and Buckle to run to the nearest woods and hide there. Understood?" The cream-colored horse gave her a strong nod. Everyone lingered near the cave's entrance for a moment before stepping inside. Mother Goose rubbed her hands together. "Well, just like I said to Lewis and Clark, North America ain't gonna explore itself," she said. "Let's get a move on." She led the others into the cave and pulling a timid Lester behind her. The cave was pitch black. "It's so dark and creepy in here," Red said. "What were you expecting, a chandelier?" Connor asked. "That's actually not a bad idea," Mother Goose said. She whistled and the fireflies flew inside and piled over one another to the top of the cave, forming a large chandelier. "Good thinking, Sea Dog." Now that they had a little light, they could see the cave was very tall but not very wide. A handful of the books stolen from the castle were littered around the ground. They walked around the cave and inspected them, reading the titles they found. "Tom Sawyer," Jack said. "Great Expectations," Goldilocks said. "Hamlet," Red said excitedly. "Ooh, can we visit Hamlet? It's my favorite shaky fruit play." "I think your week has been tragic enough," Mother Goose reminded her. Connor picked up an older book with a yellow cover. As soon as he opened it, a bright beam with the power of a searchlight shot out of it. It scared him and he dropped the book, causing a couple of loose pages to slip out. Connor gulped. "I found the Wonderful Wizard of Oz," he said. Alex said, "Be careful. Every page might count." The twins collected the loose pages and carefully stuck them into their pockets. Alex cautiously opened the book with the toe of her shoe and turned to the very first page. Just as before, the beam of bright light shot directly out of the book towards the top of the cave. It was 100 times brighter than fireflies. I bet our uncle is still in there, Alex said. Only one way to find out, Goldilocks said. Let's take a peek and see. One of us should stay behind and keep an eye on the book, Jack said. If anything happens to it while we're inside, we'll be stuck. I'll stay, Hagata volunteered. I'll guard it with my life. The rest of you go, and please be careful. They gathered around the book and stared down at it like parachutists waiting to jump from a plane. Here goes nothing, Connor said. He stepped into the beam and vanished from the cave. Connor found himself in a bright and endless space. There was absolutely nothing to see except for words floating, spinning, and jumping all around him. Wow, he said, I've never seen this before. Alex appeared beside Connor. She was followed closely by Goldilocks, Red, and Jack, and finally Mother Goose, who yanked Lester inside the book behind her. None of them could believe the world of words that they had entered. As if their presence had activated something, the words suddenly vibrated to life and shot in all directions. They dispersed randomly and began forming shapes, stretching and multiplying to perfectly outline whatever they described. The twins and their friends watched in amazement as a world was crafted around them. A bleak little house with only 4 walls and a tiny barn appeared in the distance. Grassy fields stretched into the horizon everywhere they looked. Everything from the land to the sky was dreary and gray. Alex, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, Connor whispered to his sister. And by that, I mean we're actually in Kansas. That's the chapter, boys and girls. If you want, I can do another video and I can read to you chapter 12, The Cyclone. I'll see you guys then. Bye.